Hello and welcome to the Mirrored Veil Tarot. Today we'll be reading for Aquarius for the month of June going into July. First, let's start by cleansing the cards and setting mindful intention. All right, so Aquarius, I'm going to be reading for you and also the person in your energy. We'll start by shuffling the cards. What is going on with Aquarius for the month of June going into July? And Aquarius's person. What is going on with Aquarius's person for the month of June going into July? All right, so I'm going to be reading two Celtic crosses, one for Aquarius, one for the person in your energy. We're going to see where you two are mirroring each other, where there are any synchronicities, and also where you two are not matching up. First, I'll pull a Celtic cross for you, then for your person, and then we'll do defining cards and clarifiers to get into the heart of what is going on between the two of you. Okay, so let's start with Aquarius. The heart of the matter, juggling. Two options. Crossing you is marriage, happy life, a coming together, a union. The root issue, Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady action. Recent past, the High Priestess. Crowning, the King of Cups. Near future, the Nine of Cups. Your energy is the Ace of Wands, big passion. Your person's energy is the King of Wands. Two are both very passionate. That's not a bad thing. Hopes and fears. The Nine of Wands, the burden. Final outcome, Four of Pentacles, holding things tightly to your chest. Okay. The underlying card, Knight of Cups, That's the undercurrent. Okay. And for your person, the heart of the matter, 7 of Wands. Okay. Crossing, Queen of Pentacles. Root issue is that 9 of Wands. And that's in your hopes and fears. What is this burden? Recent past, 8 of Cups. I'm moving on. Crowning, King of Pentacles. You have the King of Cups. They've got the King of Pentacles. Crossing them is the Queen of Pentacles. These two are a match. Crossing you is marriage. Near future, Knight of Cups, which is your underlying. You two are definitely synced up. All right, their energy is the King of Swords. Your energy, the 7 of Swords. Hopes and fears, 10 of Pentacles. Final outcome, the Page of Cups. Underlying energy for your person is the King of Wands, which is how they're showing up for you. This almost feels like something new. They're healing from something. And that this is somebody that you have been interested in for a while. But it looks like, just the summary of things, it looks like they're more interested in passion and money, and you're more interested in love and happiness. The only thing that's throwing me off here, Aquarius, is what's the sneaky behavior right here? Unless this is just basic manipulation. Let's get into it. All right. Clarify the 2 of Pentacles. What are you juggling? Are you juggling this person and someone else? Are you juggling finances? Nine of Pentacles, the Devil, the Hanged Man. Oh, that's why you're coming up as being sneaky. You don't want to get tied down. You are enjoying the single life and what you think is your freedom, but everything's showing that you're bound. Are you addicted to being single? Because you dream of marriage. Or is this person wanting marriage because they're wanting stability? Let's see. All right, crossing you is 4 of Wands. Clarify that. 7 of Cups, 6 of Cups, and the Sun. You have lots of options, but this person speaks to you on a soul level. You know that you could be happy with this person, but that would mean betraying all of your options. Decisions, Aquarius. Decisions. All right, the root of the matter, the Knight of Pentacles. That's clarified by Justice, 2 of Cups, and the Page of Cups, which is your person's final outcome. Oh, you're being coy. You're being coy. You're giving half-hearted offers to this person, even though this person means a lot to you. You're just kind of, you're kind of playing like, yeah, I know, like, this person is important to me. I have a hard time thinking straight when I'm with them, but they help me function better when they're around. But I'm just gonna give off like this fuck boy, fuck girl, I don't give a fuck attitude, when really you give lots of fucks about this person. All right, recent past. The High Priestess is defined by the Ten of Cups, the Seven of Wands. Oh. All right, so you had a happy home. You had a happy life. And you were betrayed. This was recently. Wait a second. Who did the betraying? Because they're standing their ground. Oh, Aquarius. How could you do that? You really love this person. Okay, so you're getting your karma right now. You explored options. You have some kind of addiction that's preventing you from connecting. Doesn't feel like a sexual addiction. Because it looks like, well, it could be, but it looks like you guys have been hooking up. You were together, you broke up, you've been hooking up. Hookups don't lead to healing and reconciliation. Do you know that? Maybe you don't. I'm telling you. Hookups post breakup, post going out and exploring your options on your person, hookups do not equal relationship. They don't. If they do lead to that, it throws the balance off. You still love this person, but you're being cold and withholding with the love. You're just like giving them all of your passion, and then you're holding back, thinking that you're leaving them wanting for something, but you broke their heart. Crowning, Death, Queen of Swords, Eight of Wands. This is them and their King of Swords, because they're sitting here and they're like, I know the truth. And you're being sneaky and deceptive and manipulative. And this behavior has to stop. Near future, the Nine of Cups. Clarify that with the World, the Emperor, and the Ten of Swords. So yeah, you're going to go out, you're going to start partying, you'll probably start looking at your options again. And it's all to mask this, and you really need to be careful with masking behavior, because masking behavior leads to addictions. If you're not able to honestly take a personal inventory and see the part that you played in this story of heartbreak that could have been love, you guys really were synced, on a lot of different levels. But, maybe it's your addiction to freedom that's preventing you from connecting, and maybe you're doing some self-sabotage in order to make sure that you keep that freedom. How many offers of love do you think you're going to get? How many of them are actually going to be legitimate? You need to ask yourself these questions. All right, let's clarify this Ace of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. Three of Cups. It's all right here. You stepped out. You stepped out. Now you're getting your karma for your partying ways. And you're refusing to look at yourself, which is what I had just suggested. Taking a good hard look at yourself. But you're choosing self-imprisonment. You're choosing self-sabotage. All right, let's clarify your person. King of Wands, Page of Wands, the Chariot, the Knight of Swords. Yeah, they love you. They like the hookups. They're not serious about this. This isn't going to turn into anything wonderful for you. They're moving on quickly, recklessly. You hurt them deep. They were a secure person when you met them. They felt good in their body. They were like kind of like a weirdo, but they were really proud of it. And now, because of what your actions did while the two of you were together, it's created an imbalance in them and an insecurity that they've never had before. And you need to take accountability for that. You hurt this person. Nine of Wands. It's clarified by the Two of Wands, the Moon card, and the Tower. Yeah. You're looking to the past, but you're looking at the wrong things. You're like, oh, we had so much passion. Oh, we had so much love. Oh, we really enjoyed cooking in the kitchen together. But you're not looking at how would it have felt if they were the one who stepped down on you. That's like, it's peopling 101. Treat others the way that you would want to be treated. And if you hurt that person, put yourself in that person's shoes. How would you have felt if they had done this to you? And then how would you want them to behave now? All right, Four of Pentacles. That's clarified by Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, the Fool. Yeah. So the cards are telling you, focus on your money. Leave this person alone. Let them heal. Let them heal. We have to heal in solitude. Sometimes we need other people's help, but the majority of healing happens alone, and they can't heal if you keep coming in with these big passionate offers, because they loved what you two had together as well. But you hurt them deeply. And the cards are telling you to focus on your money. Focus on what went right in your relationship and start over. Yeah. Moving on. That was their recent past. They've already moved on. Okay. Let's find out what's going on with your person. Let's clarify the Seven of Wands. Clarify that with your Four of Wands. Three of Swords. The Knight of Wands. Yeah, they see your passion is just immature, not serious. They wanted this marriage. Looks like you didn't. They wanted to get married. You ran around, you explored your options because you didn't want to get married. You didn't want to settle down, and they did. They're the marrying type. They're the type that you bring home to mama. All right, Queen of Pentacles. Let's clarify that. Ten of Cups. Queen of Wands. So they're showing up as King of Wands for you. And the Ace of Swords. Yeah, they had, they're living in this place called the truth. They're not lying to themselves. They're looking at things from a very grounded, level-headed space. And they know that they deserve that Ten of Cups because they worked for it. They calmed all your fears. They brought you to a place where you were almost considering marriage. And then you self-sabotaged. Why are you doing that? Why are you self-sabotaging? Why are you keeping yourself away from love and happiness? And you clearly want it. Bottom of their read, which is the root of the matter, is this Ten of Wands, clarified by Ace of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so this is still something that's haunting them. They're still burdened by this. The two of you separating has caused them financial problems. And they do. They keep looking back and seeing, like looking to see what you're doing, who you're with. That's part of their new insecurity that you helped forge for them. So, I mean, be flattered by the fact that they're still keeping tabs on you, but it's kind of sad that they can't move on the way that they need to, because it's hurting them financially, and it's also hurting them, you know, spiritually. Recent past, Eight of Cups, clarified by the Lovers. Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles. And the Hierophant. Yeah, they've been looking and seeing how hard you two worked on this relationship. This wasn't a new person. You treated them like they were an option, though. They felt like you were their divine partner. But truth has come in and set them straight. For them, that's how it felt, though. That's how important you were to them. I know it feels like I am just like raking you over the coals right now, but if you're not going to ask the serious questions, the cards are, and you came here looking for answers, the cards don't lie. I'm merely reading them. Okay. King of Pentacles, that's clarified by the Devil. The Ace of Wands. The King of Wands. Yeah. You may want to look into what your addictions are. I didn't want to say that you were addicted to sex, but that's what this is saying. Like I said, I read the cards and they don't lie. All right, in the near future, King of Cups, I'm sorry, Knight of Cups. Yeah, because you're thinking that you're the King of Cups here, but really, You're the Knight of Cups. So it looks like you're not going to be leaving them alone anytime soon. That's clarified by the 5 of Swords. You guys had a huge battle. They're brokenhearted. They're assessing everything, but they're standing their ground. They're not going anywhere. They're not leaving their position on the battlefield. They're ready. 6 of Pentacles. 4 of Swords. I mean, it's all nice and everything that you're like, oh, you're struggling financially. Here, let me help you out with that. But what would have been more helpful is if you hadn't cheated on them. Okay, King of Swords. Clarified by, this is your person's energy. The Star card. The Page of Wands. Ace of Cups. Yeah. They want you to be the person that they believed you to be, but they also want their wish fulfillment. They're leaving it up to the universe, and they are bringing in a new love offer. Clarify 7 of Swords. The Tower. The 10 of Swords. And the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah. So the more you sabotage yourself in love, the only thing you're going to be left with is your money. Do you love it enough? Is it enough for you? You have to ask yourself these questions. All right, their hopes and fears. 10 of Pentacles. It's 2 of Wands, Temperance, and the 3 of Cups. Yeah, they can't get out of their head over what happened. They're calling in karma. They're going over everything with a fine-tooth comb, overthinking everything to death, which is probably something that you would, tell them, oh, you got to stop overthinking. You got to stop overthinking. Oh, no, the overthinkers, they're the ones who figure everything out. And they put everything together. Your person's going to be okay. They're going to figure it out. They're going to figure out what made you tick. That's uncomfortable, isn't it? That's only uncomfortable for people who are unwilling to look at themselves. When someone else is able to come up to you and define you, is that what it was? Was that the trigger? Was that the trigger for you? They could look at you and figure you out, figure out what made you tick when you couldn't even really figure out what made you tick, and then you're like, oh my God, that is me. All right, let's clarify this Page of Cups with 5 of Cups, the Chariot, and the Queen of Cups. Yeah. This person, once they're done with their healing, that's when they're going to meet their actual soulmate. You were not that for them. They hope that you were. Yeah, bottom of their deck is that Knight of Pentacles, which is what you keep trying to do. But they've moved on. You broke them. And all because you're not willing to look at yourself. But here's the thing. You may not want to look at yourself, but other people see you. Obviously, your person saw you, right? If you want to be better, you want to do better, you're going to have to look at yourself. Cold, hard truth, look at yourself. Because that's the only way to heal. That's the only way to be a better person. Is to look at yourself, figure out what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are you good at, what are you not good at, what are some areas that you would like to change. These are all very big questions, you know? So that you can, you know, once you look at yourself, then you can come in and make an offer that's actually worth it to somebody and yourself. And you won't be wasting anyone's time. So Aquarius, I really do. I hope that you figure this out, not just for yourself, but for your future person. You know? And yeah, hopefully next week I'll have some better news there for you. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Mirrored Veil Tarot. I will see you all next week. Okay, and in the meantime, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much. See you next week.